If you could steal one skill from Daniel Negreanu and plug it straight into your own live game, what would you choose? Well, the good news is that you don't have to choose because I'm giving you 4 of them. In my 11 years playing live low stakes poker, I've watched hundreds of hours of him playing all sorts of stakes. And I've realized that everything he does applies even to 1-2 or 1-3 live. So in this video, I'll show you Negreanu's simple framework that helped him win millions and how you can use the exact same ideas and strategies as Negreanu in your local games without turning yourself into a GTO robot. I call it the PISS framework. Yep, that's what it's called. Let's look at the P in PISS. Watch this example very closely because this alone is one of the biggest reasons why Daniel Negreanu has become one of the most successful poker players of all time. In the 2019 WSOP main event, by the way, I played that one as well, Negreanu folded the third nuts in a spot where most players would talk themselves into a call. Would you have gotten away from this? Pretty impressive stuff. So why does he find that insane fold? Because he weighs his hand against the specific opponent, the line they took, and the live dynamics of the hand. From that, he reaches a simple conclusion. This player just does not bluff here often enough. And while this was a hand in a tournament with a lot of money at stake, you can do exactly the same thing in your own local cash games. Already within the first orbit you play, you can give each player at the table a simple label and then ask what they do too much of. Do they call too much, fold too much, bluff too much? Once you know these tendencies, your decisions get much easier. You value bet bigger against the players who hate folding. You attack overly tight players in small and medium pots and stop paying them off in big ones because you realize that they only bet big when they have a big hand. And against maniacs, you let them keep firing instead of trying to force them out of the pot. So, the one thing Negreanu does really well is observing every player and then understanding how he can exploit the tendencies those players display. That's why the first P in PISS stands for playing the player. And if you're now wondering how to identify the type of player you're facing, I've put together a PDF to help with that. It shows you exactly how to profile players at 1-2 and 1-3 and how to build simple exploitative strategies around their leaks. Download it for free, link in the description below, or scan this QR code. Okay, so now we know what the P stands for. Let's look at something that's equally important when it comes to boosting your bankroll, the I in PISS. One of the things Negreanu is most famous for is talking at the table while a hand is going on.
Sevens, we got eights, we got straight draws, we got flush draws, we got all kinds. So what we got to do here is put one blue chip in.
Some people get annoyed by this, but for him it's almost like getting paid by the word because every word can lead to a higher win rate. He asks people where they're from, what they do, how long they have been playing, and then you'll sometimes see how he starts narrowing down their hand out loud before they even turn it over. What is he actually doing here? Is he that interested in finding out where his opponents are from? Well, maybe, but the main reason is that he is collecting information. He is using small talk, reactions, confidence, nerves, and table presence to build a psychological profile of the person in front of him. By the time the big decision comes, he has already built a picture of the player and is using it to make better, more profitable choices. And you can copy that in your own games very easily too. Ask simple questions. Where do they normally play? Do they play online? How often do they play? What do they do for work? I like to use these sorts of questions when I'm involved in a big pot against someone. Players might reveal if they're relaxed or nervous, which can tell a lot about their hand strength. I remember how I fell for this in my first year of playing. I went all in with pocket aces pre-flop, and my opponent, who was an experienced live player, started asking me all sorts of questions. I answered them in such a relaxed and confident manner that he found an easy fold with his pocket kings. That was a valuable lesson for me, and since then I've been the one gathering information from my opponents by asking them questions, not the other way around. When you're debating whether to bluff catch or not, you can also ask them if they'll show if you fold. Inexperienced players who want you to fold will often instinctively say yes. This alone can be worth a lot. Daniel Negreanu has used this line a lot in his career too. So the I in PIS stands for information. Now let's look at the first S, because this is something that almost every player I've ever met gets wrong and therefore leaves a lot of money on the table. But Daniel Negreanu is the master of this. Well, I haven't met him actually. You will often hear him say things like, a small c-bet keeps a range wide, or a big overbet polarizes someone towards very strong hands or bluffs. He treats every sizing decision as information. The size is saying something about range and intention. Negreanu has an entire video on bet sizing, and he talks about it constantly in hand reviews, whether it's about the sizes his opponents use or the sizes he is thinking about using himself. Now, if you're less experienced, this might sound overwhelming, but there is an easy trick you can apply that will make your life so much easier when you think about what size to use. All you need to do is ask yourself one simple question. What do I want to achieve? When you have a strong value hand and you're up against a calling station, you don't need to stick to standard bet sizes. You obviously want to get called in that spot, so you think how much your opponent would call and then you bet that amount. Think like a business owner with a customer who is going to buy the product anyway. If they do not care much about price, you charge more. And when you bluff, you choose sizes that actually fit the story you are telling. Again, think what kind of hands you're targeting and ask yourself how big you would need to bet to get your opponent to fold that hand. But obviously don't ask these questions out loud at the poker table, just ask them in your head. You should also pay attention to your opponent's sizing patterns. Some players bet small with draws and big with made hands. Some players only overbet when they have a really strong hand. Well, actually most players that want to. Others use small bets with hands that hate facing a raise. Once you start noticing those patterns, decisions get much easier. You fold sooner in bad spots, call lighter when sizing gives away weakness, and raise more confidently when a bet size does not make sense. This will take practice and experience, but even more beginner players can use this to their advantage. So the first S in PIS stands for sizing. Now let's look at the final S, and this is the most underrated one, but if you get it right, this could add serious money to your bankroll. When Daniel Negreanu talks through hands, he rarely starts by talking about the cards he has. And he does that with good reason, because there is something that in a way is even more important: position and situation. He'll say things like, I'm on the button here, or I don't want to play a big pot out of position against this guy. And that tells you exactly how he thinks about poker. He has published many videos in which he teaches the importance of position, where he explains why he opens wider on the button, attacks blinds, and avoids marginal pots out of position against strong players. So, what is he doing here? He is choosing better spots before the hand even really develops. He is putting himself in situations where position, table dynamics, and player tendencies all work in his favor. And that is something you can use immediately in your own 1-2 or 1-3 games. You choose your tables and seats on purpose. You want weaker, looser players on your right, so you act after them more often. You open wider and apply more pressure from the button and cutoff, especially when the players in the blinds are on the passive side. And you tighten up when you're out of position against loose or competent players in the room. If you are out of position against a tough player with a hand that will be awkward to play, just let it go. There's no shame in folding marginal hands. But if you have position on a weaker player who hates folding, then lean in and start value betting. That's why the final S in PIS stands for spots. Because these spots, or position in general, is extremely important in poker. Try to play most of the hands that you play in position and avoid playing out of position if at all possible. You don't have to apply all of this at once. Start with 1 or 2 pieces and you will already notice that your decisions become clearer and less emotional. And don't forget to get your free PDF to be able to profile and exploit every player at the table. But all of these tricks will only help help as a catalyst if you have a repeatable strategy that you can follow in every hand you play. If you want to learn my exact step-by-step strategy to crush the live low stakes, then watch this video next.